Hello, Oshi Potters. I don't know what to call you guys. This is the Oshikatsu Pod, TOP for short. Um, Experimental blah blah thing that I'm trying. Um, just wanted to express my thoughts about things I'm watching, things in the community. Um, so I am watching Chaser Game W2 Season 2, which is a GL drama. So let's get to it. So this is very experimental, but I'm going to watch a bit of it and then I'll share my thoughts. Okay, so I'm watching this at like 2x speed because I've watched it like 3 times already because I subbed it. I watched it once when I timed the Japanese subtitles, and then another time when I'm translating, and then the last time to edit it and QC it with quality check. So I'm kind of like, I just want to go through it. This is my fourth time watching. So we have Itsuki and Yorum at a Hilton hotel. It looks like the suite, maybe President's suite. I don't know. It looks very fancy. They're eating lots of Korean food, and Itsuki is just very sad because of what's happened between her and Fuyu. But Yorum was doing her best to like cheer her up. Then it flashes back to when they were in high school. So Yorumu was a host student, and Itsuki's family hosted her. So they're watching TV, and then the pacing is a bit fast. So all of a sudden they go from like they're laughing together, and then all of a sudden like Itsuki like kind of goes back into her shell and turns on the game to play PlayStation or whatever, and then she starts like they yeah the I don't know, the pacing is very weird. I don't know how you can go from like, oh, they're laughing 1 minute and then the next minute, like, Itsuki is sad and crying because some boy called her a lesbian. And that's why she doesn't like going to school. But they should have, I feel like they should have, uh, like explained why in the beginning first, not just jump straight to like them laughing. The pacing is weird. It's a bit choppy. So then you flash back to like when they're in high school, and Yoruma is like pissed off, so she confronts the guy. She yells at him in Korean. Oh, and then some Chinese fans, they are pretty mad at the script writer and the production company. Um, I don't know. It's they chased for us to have a season 2 so quickly. Yeah, it's gonna be rushed, right? They didn't have time to really develop the story, and yeah, like what do you expect, right? At least we get some scenes with Itsu and Fuyu. Yeah, there's gonna be some, turmoil. That's how dramas work. If anyone knows how stories go, how dramas go, how movies go, there's a pattern, and there's always like some issue, right? My daughter, she is so like on top of stuff, but she had a little paper one day, and then she was like, she wrote down like what is a story. Like the story has a protagonist or a hero or an anti-hero, and there's an issue or a problem, and then they work to this. The whole story is about overcoming this problem and getting to that goal. So solving that problem. And my daughter, she's only 7, but she even knows this. So some people out there, I don't know what world you're living in, but this is how storytelling goes. You got protagonists, you have an issue, the issue gets resolved or doesn't get resolved at the end of the story, right? That's just how it is. Um, if you want to see like just happy, lovey dovey scenes, like maybe, I don't know, don't watch. I don't know in what world or in what drama where it's always lovey dovey or it's always happy moments. That's never the case. Um, yeah, so some Chinese fans are very pissed off, I guess. Anyways, back to Chaser game. So Yoruma beats up the guy. Um, okay, so we flash back to the present, and Itsuki and Yoruma are in bed. And I guess they're naked. Who knows, right? But I think this is just a setup. It's just, I don't think Itsuki would do anything like that. Um, I think Yoruma is just setting her up and just leading her to believe that they did sleep together. She just says something very generically like, our minds and bodies were one, or something like that, some cheesy line like that. But I don't think anything happened. Um, Usually, if you love someone so much, you would not do something like that. What else happened? So some Chinese fans also criticized the scene where Yoruma is leaving Itsuki. But hey, they're like college, I mean, they're high school kids, right? So the point of a homestay is that you stay there for like a year or a few months and then you go back home. Because you can't just stay there. Of course, there's going to be some point where they break it off and she has to go back home, right? That's just what happens when you have a homestay. When you study abroad. I studied abroad. I was there in Japan for 2 months. It was like a life defining moment for me. Opened my eyes to a lot of things, made me learn a lot about myself. But yeah, I know it's not something that will last forever, but I hold that time in my heart. It's like something that I will always like hold dear to my heart. But you have to go home. I have a family in the US, so I had to go back home at the end. You can't just stay there. So, like some people, they have some weird sense of like, there's no reality to what they're saying. You have to think about what the story has some, basis in reality, right? So think about that. So then we go to Fuyu. She's at the cafe and the cafe is closed, no one's there, and then what's her face? Hikaru comes up in her little bicycle and is like, "Oh, are you here for my boss?" She invites her in, and she shows Fuyu like what's been happening, which is like all of this these bad reviews for the cafe, so they haven't been doing any business. This is all Fuyu's mom's doing, and then Fuyu apologizes to Hikaru, um, probably because she knows that her mom is behind it. And Hikaru's like, huh? Why are you apologizing? And then Fuyu's like, she was about to tell her, but Hikaru cut her off. Then now we're at the scene where we're back at Dynamic Dream. Yeah, so let me watch a little bit of that and I'll come back. Okay, so then we see the scene where they're at Dynamic Dream and the girls that work there ask Fuyu and Itsuki to help them because they're trying to pick a pairing or the actresses for the drama version of Tenyo Sekai, the fictitious game in this drama. So they're turning it into a drama itself, which is like very meta. And the girls asked them to do a photo shoot. Chan Shurin's sister says she accidentally sees like the photo that Itsuki and Fuyu did in season 1. So now this is like another parallel in season 2. They've recycled a lot of ideas so far. It's a bit, I don't know. It's getting a bit old. Like, I don't know. The scenery is nice. Like, you get to see Itsuki and like Fuyu like dressed up in like these Chinese outfits. I mean, and where they're at is like beautiful. So you get these beautiful shots of these like beautiful women and dressed up. And then, of course, this photo shoot doesn't go well because Itsuki feels threatened and not safe. And then like Fuyu doesn't even know what the hell is going on. She just knows something happened for her mom, that her mom did something, right, behind the scenes. So there's this weird like tension between the two of them. But yeah, so the pacing is weird. I don't know what to say. But then there's also like, I think people are also reading too much into what they're saying. I think someone on Twitter mentioned that Fuyu apologizes a lot. But in this case, she's apologizing for a good reason. It's not that she thinks that she doesn't deserve Itsuki's love. I don't think it's that at all. It's a cultural thing. If you know in Japanese culture, and I know that in the drama, Fuyu is Chinese, but you know, in real life, she's half Japanese, and she lives in Japan. So the story, you know, the Japanese culture, they're very apologetic. They don't want to impose on anyone. That's just in their nature, and it's in their language too. So when she's apologizing to Itsuki in this scene after the photo shoot, it's because of her mom. There's good reason for her. She's not apologizing saying like, oh, that she doesn't deserve her love. It has nothing to do with that. It's because her mom's crazy bitch. Okay. Okay, let me get back to the next scene. Oh, so a lot happened. Let me rewind a little bit since I'm watching at 2x speed. Okay. So After the photo shoot, Fuyu goes back home or to her hotel room, and she sees Ko and Tsuki, and they have a discussion. It's Fuyu tells Ko that she's giving up on Harumoto Itsuki. We also learned that the zookeeper job was retracted. I guess he was offered the role, but they took it out or they got rid of it. And Fuyu's like, oh, it's my mom. Mother did it. So at this point, she's feeling, dejected. She doesn't want to, pursue the route of being with Itsuki. But Cole, it's like, no, go face your mom. You have to, I'm supporting you on this, so do it. Like, he doesn't want to be put through. Part of it, I think he doesn't want to deal with Fuyu's family either. So I'm sure he's like, just get, I don't want to do this. So he doesn't want to go through, because if they stay as a family, then he suffers a lot too. So he doesn't want to go through that. So he wants out of this as much as possible too. So then she's like determined to go talk to her mom to break it off. Her mom, she's like adamant. She's like, Mom, I want to be with Itsuki. And then her mom does that thing with the ring, which is like the screenwriter said that this scene or this tactic they're using is very similar to Get Out. But there's a teacup scene. I think I explained this in the last episode. It like puts the other person in a trance. It's like a hypnotize. They're in a hypnotized state. But this time it doesn't work on her. She holds on to her necklace that she shares with Itsuki, and she remembers like what Itsuki told her, which is like, your mom doesn't decide what is normal. You decide. You get to decide, right? So her mom keeps saying normal, normal. This is what a normal family does. Like, this is what the husband is supposed to work, and that's normal. And being a family, that is what's normal. But Fuyu finally like breaks from it and says that, no, I decide to what is normal. And she's like adamant, and she storms off. But also the mom's like, do you want to cut ties then? Are you cutting ties with the family? And then Fuyu's like, yes. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I don't think this is the last time we'll see the mom. She will come back. And I will predict there's going to be that ring. They're going to smash that ring. That's another parallel they're going to do, I think. Yeah. So then we go back to like Itsuki, and she's in the pool area with Yoruma, but she's not in the pool. And then Yoruma tries to get her into the pool, but she's like, no, I love Fuyu, no matter what happens. So then she goes back to the hotel, and then all of a sudden it's like nighttime. And then just previously it's all like bright and sunny, and I don't know, the timing and editing on this is not very well stitched together. Because it's like, it looks like the middle of the night when like Fuyu calls Itsuki, and Itsuki's in the hotel. So then, what happens is that Fuyu's like, I want to see you. And then Itsuki's like, I want to see you too. And then how do they know where to go or where to see? They don't tell each other where to meet up. Like, where are you running to? Like, if it was me, I would be like, huh? Where am I supposed to meet you? But I think it's the same location as where they broke up, which is somewhere in Tokyo. I forget what area it was. Anyway, so that's just one little thing. I'm like, what? So do you call each other and then you say you want to see each other, but where? Hello, where? Okay. So then they're running and then they see each other and um you see like these beautiful shots of them running at night. There's like this bridge that Fuyu's running across, and then you see Itsuki running with her suitcase, and then they're waiting at an intersection, and they can't wait for the light. And did you know that the Japanese people, they if it's not a green light to walk, they won't go, right? So they're very like strict about the rules there, but no, they don't care about if it's a red light or not. So Itsuki runs across the street and they hug, they confess to each other, and Fuyu finally tells Itsuki that I told my mom I want to be with you, and then finally Itsuki's like, I'm not gonna let anyone get in our way anymore. I want to be with you. I love you. She says aishiteru, okay? And then Itsuki says the same back. So she says aishiteru also. So from this point, she has not said that. But I feel like she's always the one that just says ski. She's always saying like watashi mo, like also, me too. There's been a few times where she'll say it first. But yeah. So then, okay, I love you too, blah, blah, blah. And then they kiss. But then it goes back to, what's her face? Yorumu in the hotel room. She's like, she's not going to give up. Okay. And then let's go. So the previews. We see Yorumu fighting with Fuyu. And there's a bit of exchange there. She's like, this is war. And then Fuyu's like, what? This is not even a war. Like, who are you? And then Fuyu tells her, like, I am Itsuki's first love and last love. And then we go to they visit the high school, the Shizuoka, which is where Itsuki went to high school. And I'm guessing they want to, or Itsuki wants to tell her grandma. So her grandma's still alive. They don't explicitly say this in the preview, but her grandma's still alive. So a little bit of a tidbit here is that Itsuki is an orphan. Her mother raised her until she died. So her mother passed away from cancer, and then so Itsuki was raised by the grandmother in Shizuoka. So now she's visiting her grandma, and my guess is that she wants to tell her grandma that I love Fuyu and I want to be with her. So it's kind of get her blessing. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a mess this episode. Hopefully they tidy things up for episode 5. Yeah, a lot of beautiful shots, like you don't need to work too hard. You have like these two beautiful actresses, so any shot is gonna be like beautiful. So I think they're working a bit too much on that and trying to get some of that, allure of season one. But they are reusing too many things. And yeah, so tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you for episode 5. Bye.